Welcome back guys. In this video I'll show you how to use the INT8 model of FSR Upscaler in conjunction with Optiscaler XeSS frame generation in Red Dead Redemption Part 2 running on Steam Deck that comes with Linux based SteamOS. You can even use Optiscaler's FSR frame generation, but I would not recommend using it as it comes with a higher latency than XeSS frame generation. XeSS frame generation also does a much better job of handling the game's UI elements. In order to use FSR4 and Optiscaler frame generation, you need to run the game in DirectX 12 mode. Now, DirectX 12 mode was very problematic in this game on Linux platform for years. Snow textures were not rendered properly, game used to crash at startup. All of these issues have been fixed with the latest Proton updates. Even Vulkan API had its problems. If I'm not wrong, Vulkan used to cause a RAM leak issue. I have no idea if this issue has been fixed or not. I always run the game in DirectX 12 mode. In Vulkan mode with UMA buffer size set to anything other than 1 GB, a performance regression used to occur in the game whenever a character was close to any water body. This issue is not present when running the game in DirectX 12 mode. I'll be running the Rockstar Games launcher version of the game. The game officially supports DLSS and FSR2 upscalers. On Steam Deck we can only use the latter, and FSR2 upscaler makes the image quality look very bad, produces noticeable texture shimmering in the environment, makes the image quality look very blurry, and this is with the quality preset of FSR2 upscaler. No one should be using it in 2026. Now FSR4 upscaler is significantly more demanding than FSR2 upscaler, but it also improves the image quality significantly. You can even use XeSS upscaler. It's slightly less demanding than FSR4 upscaler, but still produces a better looking image quality than in-game FSR2 upscaler. Using frame generation is completely optional. You can simply run the game with FSR4 upscaler only. On Steam Deck, I would recommend applying a 30 FPS cap for a more stable experience. In crowded towns, the game becomes very heavy on the CPU. There will be a few frame time stutters. A GPU VRAM dump issue also occurs, causing a frame time spike, but this will be more noticeable when the base FPS is on the higher side, like above 60. This issue can be resolved by using Town Stuttering Fix mod. I have covered it in my previous video where I tested the game on my RTX 5070 Ti. I tried using that mod in this game on Steam Deck, but it didn't help much in improving the performance in crowded areas, as the performance was heavily limited by Steam Deck's CPU. 80 to 90% CPU load while traversing Saint Denis. When using Optiscaler mod, it's recommended to not enable its DX12 spoofing feature, otherwise some visual artifacts will occur. Game may crash as well. You need to use OptiPatcher in order to gain access to the in-game DLSS upscaler setting for enabling Optiscaler frame generation. I'll show you the complete process in this video. First, I'll test the game without any mod install, highlight the base game performance. I have installed Rockstar Games launcher on Steam Deck via Steam itself. Already shown you the setup process. We'll drop the video link in the description. Just make sure you are using Proton Experimental as the compatibility layer. Latest version of Proton should also work, but I tested the game with Proton Experimental. SteamOS system info. I'm running on beta build of SteamOS version 3.7.17. Set the UMA buffer size to 4 GB. Video driver MISA 24.3.4. Connected my FlyDG Vader 4 Pro controller to deck via Bluetooth mode. X input controller. Launch Rockstar Games launcher. I have the LCD variant of Steam Deck. Display supports up to 60 Hz refresh rate. I have overclocked the display refresh rate from 60 to 70 Hz. Here we are in. Tap on play. Performance QAM settings. Overlay level set to 3. Frame limit set to 70. That's it. In-game settings. 800p resolution display mode windowed borderless. VSync and triple buffering settings disabled. Isotropic filtering set to 16 times. Restorer settings set to medium. Upscaler FSR2. Sharpening level around 20%, up to you. Yeah, this is very important. You need to set graphics API to DirectX 12, not Vulkan. Advanced setting, just unlock it in order to gain access to the graphics API setting, and just make sure motion blur is disabled from here, off. That's it. Yeah, we are in. I'm in Saint Denis. There's John, and oh my god, look at the image quality. It's looking so pixelated. especially doing fast visual motion. See, call my horse, traverse the area on horseback. Yeah, here we are getting around 40 FPS, not bad. Where's my horse? Look at the wires above me, looking so blurry. Game has a soft look to it, caused by FSR2 Upscaler, and this is when I am using the Upscaler's quality preset, and look at the ugly texture shimmering going on in the background. Railway platform, see, and just observe the leaves on the trees here, producing a very ugly shimmering effect. Classic FSR Upscaler artifact, see, butchers the image quality. Yeah, FPS is within a range of 33 to 40. Where to apply a 30 FPS cap for a more stable experience. Oh my god, look at that CPU load, 85%, hitting the GPU bottleneck. This is Denis, known for its performance issues. You will be getting much better performance in the open areas. Definitely playable. Frame generation will help in smoothing out this erratic performance. There's a water body nearby. Yeah, there it is. And keep an eye on the FPS counter. We are still getting 40 FPS. See, water bodies don't slow down the game. I have set the UMA buffer size to 4 GB. NPC can start a mission by interacting with this NPC. I'll test the game in one more area. Yeah, area load up. Following Charles, thick snow in this area, and as you can see, the snow textures, they are rendered properly, going through a water stream. Again, no regression observed. FPS stable 40. Deck won't be able to maintain a steady 40 FPS in crowded areas due to a CPU side limitation. Here we are hitting the GPU bottleneck. CPU load is around 75%. Much better frame pacing in the open world area compared to Denis. Crowded town. Not surprised. Even here image quality is looking very soft. All's good. Just make sure you run the game using Proton experimental. No artifacts should be present in DX12 mode. Now I'll show you how to install Optiscaler mod. I'll be using the latest preview 9 version 0.9 20260113 build of Optiscaler mod. It's available on their Discord server. We'll give the link to their Discord in the description of the video. Now I encountered one problem when using this build of Optiscaler in this game. Mod menu did not pop up out of the box. I needed to disable overlay menu via Optiscaler.ini file. This made the colors of Optiscaler mod menu to look a bit washed out, especially against a bright background. Text was a bit difficult to read. Otherwise the mod worked fine. Its features: FSR SDK was leaked 4 months ago. It included files corresponding to the INT8 model of FSR for Upscaler. These files could be used to compile an FSR DLL. Big thanks to Reddit user Athlete926 for doing this and sharing the file with the community. Click on the Go file link here. From this page you need to download AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler DX12.dll file. Just click on download here. I'll be using version 0.38 of OptiPatcher. You can download it from GitHub. We'll use it to unlock the in-game DLSS setting. Won't be using Optiscaler's TXJS spoofing feature. Expand asset section, click on the .asi link. Open Dolphin File Explorer. Go to downloads. Here you'll find all of the files that you just downloaded. I have transferred them to another directory. It does not matter. Okay, first I'll install Optiscaler mod. Open its archive file. Click on extract. Extract again. Wait for the extraction process to complete. Finish. Close the archive window. Open the extracted folder. Just change the name of Optiscaler.dll file to D3D12.dll mod loader file. Rename. Just type D3D12. Just open Optiscaler.ini file, mods configuration file. Yeah, we need to set overlay menu to false. Just scroll down until you find menu section. There it is. Under this section, look for a line name overlay menu and set it to false. Now Optiscaler menu should pop up. Scroll down again until you find spoofing section. There it is. Under this section, look for a line name DXGI and set it to false. This will disable Optiscaler's DXGI spoofing feature. We are not done yet. Typo, my bad. Scroll down again until you find plugin section. Just need to set load ASI plugins to true. Now Optiscaler mod will be able to load OptiPatcher as it is an ASI file. Click on save, close. Just select the highlighted files libxeSS.dll, XeSS super resolution file for DX12 and Vulkan APIs, libxeSS_fg.dll, XeSS frame generation file. Select all of the DX12 versions of Fidelity FX files, frame generation, Upscaler, AMD loader file. This one, not the Vulkan version. Not using Nukem 9's mod. D3D12.dll Optiscaler files, Optiscaler.ini again Optiscaler file, libxcll.dll XeSS low latency mode file. Okay, Reflex is not going to work with OptiPatcher enabled, so the real XeSS low latency mode won't work. Mod will simply create a stub context for it. Select fake nvapi.dll and fake nvapi.ini required for XCLL at stub context. Copy these files. Right click, copy, navigate to the directory where you have installed your games. In my case it's home.local, share, Steam, Steam apps, common, games install folder. There it is. Red Dead Redemption 2. Paste the mod files right next to the game's main exe file in this directory. Paste. Mod has been installed. Now I'll install the INT8 model of FSR for Upscaler. Just copy its AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler DX12.dll file that you downloaded from GoFiles webpage. Just need to paste it in the game's install directory where you install Optiscaler mod. Right here, replace the existing file. Overwrite. Done. Now I'll install OptiPatcher. Just copy its ASI file that you downloaded from GitHub. Go to the game's install directory where you install Optiscaler mod. Right here in this directory you need to create a new folder. Name it as plugins. Inside this folder we need to place the ASI file. Okay. Open plugins folder. Paste the file here. That's it. OptiPatcher has been installed. Switch to gaming mode. Don't need to add any launch argument to Rockstar Games Launcher in order to get Optiscaler working. See, in-game settings, same as before. I'll just change the upscaler from FSR2 to DLSS. Yeah, just disable FSR2. DLSS setting got unlocked. Mod is working. I'll use its performance preset. Sharpness level around 20%, up to you. FSR4 is heavier than FSR2 Upscaler. DX12 API selected, all good. We are in, it's the night time, pitch dark. Just open Optiscaler menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. See, told you the colors would be washed out. I'll increase its size. Okay, text is readable here. Click on the drop down bar next to menu UI scale. Set the value to 1.2, much better. Yeah, API D3D12. Upscaler use XeSS 2.0.2. As you can see here we are getting around 46 to 47 FPS. Input in-game DLSS Upscaler DXGI spoofing. It's off. OP is mentioned here at the top of the mod menu. This means OptiPatcher is working. Auto expose setting is off. I'll enable it. Fix some coloring issue that can occur at night with XeSS Upscaler. Frame generation disabled for the time being. I'll enable Optiscaler's performance overlay. Expand FPS overlay section. Check the setting FPS overlay enabled. full plus graph, position top right, my bad, scale 1.3, base resolution 640 by 400 pixels upscale to 800p, performance preset. Okay, now I'll switch to FSR4 upscaler. Just click on the drop down bar next to change upscaler, select FSR 3.x as the option, click on change upscaler again and open the mod menu. Yeah, FSR4 is indeed working, and look at that FPS value drop from around 44 to 39. FPS dropped by around 5 after going from XeSS to upscaler to FSR4 upscaler, but FSR4 also produces a better looking image than XeSS. Model settings set to default, automatically selected model 3 for me, which corresponds to the performance preset of Ingame Upscaler. Correct model is being used. All good hai. FSR4 is mentioned. Okay, I'll test the game in a brightly lit environment, Saint Denis. And now I'm in Saint Denis. It's a bright sunny day. If you open Optiscaler menu here, it will be very difficult for you to read the text. See, okay, all of my settings got reset after restarting the game. This is not good. XeSS upscaler. So we need to change the mod settings via Optiscaler.ini file. Exit the game. Just go to the games install directory where you install Optiscaler right here. Open Optiscaler.ini file. Just set DX12 upscaler to FSR 31. This will enable FSR4. Frame generation settings disable for the time being. Scroll down until you find menu section. Under this section, look for a line name show FPS. Just set it to true. Enabling Optiscaler's performance overlay, FPS scale 1.3. This will verify if FSR4 is working or not. Overlay position top right, type 1. Overlay type full plus graph, type 5. We are not done yet. Scroll down until you find init flag section. From here just enable auto exposure, set to true. That's it. Click on save, close, switch to gaming mode, launch the game. We are in. Yeah, our settings are working. You can see Optiscaler's performance overlay in the top right corner. Upscaler used FSR4. I'm in Saint Denis. FPS here is within a range of 32 to 37, and look at the image quality. It's looking so sharp. It's not looking blurry at all. Not observing any ghosting around John's character model during fast visual motion. Just call my horse. Observe the railway platform in the background. No shimmering is produced around it, even when viewed from a far off distance. You can compare it with FSR2 upscaler, and this is the performance preset of FSR4 upscaler. I was using the quality preset of FSR2 upscaler. And leaves of the trees, they are not exhibiting that ugly shimmering effect. See, even during fast visual motion. Big improvement in terms of image quality after switching from FSR2 to FSR4 upscaler. Yeah, here FPS is close to 30. FPS didn't drop below 30. That's really good to see. You can simply play the game with a 30 FPS cap and apply 30 FPS cap using SteamOS performance QAM settings. Hitting the GPU bottleneck, high CPU load. If you want more performance, you can simply use XeSS upscaler. Should be getting close to 40 FPS with XeSS in less crowded areas. Okay, now I'll show you how to enable XeFG. Go to the games directory where you install Optiscaler mod. Again open Optiscaler.ini file. Under frame generation section, set enable to true. Set FG input to Upscaler. Set FG output to XeFG. We are not done yet. Scroll down until you find OptiFG section. There it is. Set hotfix to true. Limit value to 1. Hard limit. This will prevent the game's UI elements from flickering with XeFG enabled. Also look for a line name resource blocking. There it is. Just set it to true. Click on save. Close. Run the game. Game started. Just open performance QAM settings. Enable manual GPU clock speed settings. Set the speed to 1400 MHz. This is for Steam Deck only. Deck's APU draws up to 15 watts of power, which is shared between the CPU and the GPU. If the CPU draws too much of power, GPU's performance will tank and vice versa. Here we are in. XeFG is working. Highlighted in Optiscaler's performance overlay. Okay, John's head. It's flickering. Need to restart the game in order to fix this issue. Occurs when we enable XeFG for the first time. Play. Game restarted. XeFG, it's still working. I'll just spin the camera. Head flickering issue got fixed just like that. Only needed to restart the game. I'll try to enable XeFG debug view setting. Text, it's very difficult to read it. Oh my god. There's the debug view setting. Check it. Yeah. If XeFG is working, you should see these purple sidebars flickering. All good. Uncheck the setting. I'll also check show detected UI setting. There it is. With this setting enabled, only the UI elements should be highlighted pink in color. The complete display, it should not be highlighted pink in color. Otherwise, XeFG smoothing effect, it won't work properly. Just take out my weapon. Crosshair, highlighted pink in color. No flickering will be produced around it. Holster my weapon. In this game, when we use Deadeye, smoothing effect of XeFG stops working. I'll just highlight this issue. Yeah, as you can see, complete display is highlighted pink in color. Animation quality, it's looking so choppy. You can very easily tell XeFG is not working. Shouldn't be a big problem. You only use Deadeye during combat for a brief moment. I'll just uncheck this setting. It's so difficult to read the text during the daytime. Show detected UI setting. Back to the game. Traverse Saint Denis on horseback. Yeah, FPS, it's close to 50. Real world input delay, I'll be honest, I was expecting the latency to be much worse than this. As the base FPS, it's close to 30. Gain some speed. Go to here. This area is very heavy on the CPU, 45 FPS. Audio is not stuttering. Here this tram, it's very heavy on the processor. I'll test the game in one more area. Before that, I'll engage in combat. Why not? Jump to wagon. The guy ran away. I gained a wanted level. Start shooting the cops. Yeah, FPS is close to 50. Audio, it's not stuttering. I'll just test the game in one more area. And this is the real world input delay. Area loaded up, campsite. I have enabled show detected UI setting, and yeah, everything is working properly. This means Optiscaler's resource blocking feature is working properly. UI elements, they are not flickering even after going through a loading screen, loading another area. This problem used to occur in the older builds of Optiscaler. UI elements started to flicker after completion of a loading screen. Not happening now. So that's it with the video, guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.